Richard from the Men of the House podcast here. And as you know, my wife and I do caregiving, and therefore we like to work with companies who have a like-minded mindset as it relates to taking care of your family. So, today's episode is going to be sponsored by Life with Vin, who can help you with all your family and financial protection. So please take a moment to listen to a word from our sponsor, Life with Vin.
Hello, this is Ven with Life with Ven. I'm a family protection specialist dedicated to educating individuals and family about living benefits, financial protection, and building a stronger foundation for the future. I believe financial education should be understandable, accessible, and personalized, not confusing or overwhelming. Whether it's preparing for the unexpected, protecting income, or creating long-term security, my mission is to help families explore options that aligns with their goals and values. Let's connect. Let's do life together.
Right. So it's been a minute and got about an hour. Got a little pocket of time here. Wanted to give some updates after turning 50. I've had, 6 days to try it on. I want to take it back. Let's give it back. Give me the receipt. Another episode of the Men of the House podcast. Oh, it's nice to get a visceral laugh. Welcome, 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 and happy Monday. And thank you for spending some time with me. I got a little bit of time. Then I'm going to go treat myself to a massage. That's right. The wife and kiddo are out of town. So it's just me. Um, been working, Ubering, trying to earn that money. And yeah, because, use my car often. Had to replace the brakes about 3 weeks ago. Wife's car, I had to fix the AC. That costs some money, so got to get out there and make the money. and but yeah, they had an opportunity to go out of town, visit with some friends, visit family, see the new grandbaby, and I decided I would stay back, make money, and yeah, just spend a little time alone. If you can see, for all the viewers, if you're behind me on the YouTube there, I got Yellow Wolf, a slum American life. I've never really, I've heard of him. I've seen him. Never really listened to his music until today, but I get him. Yeah. Watching this documentary, it's like, I kind of get what it's like. Not necessarily to that degree, but you know, what it's like to definitely feel like the outcast a little bit, feel like you don't fit in, you know, kind of growing up where I did at the time period that I did, it's like you're not white, you're not Mexican, but there's more whites than there are anything. So there's really no Mexicans to belong to. Um, you don't really fit in a lot, maybe. So, you kind of fit in with black people a little bit too because there's very few of them. Most of them are related. Um, and so, yeah, I can remember me and my friend John, the other half Mexican, and my friend Corey, who was black. We're sitting in my truck one day, and John's like, "Oh, it's two spicks and a spook." I was just like, "Oh man!" And just fucking, we all just busted out laughing. The truth of that, circa 1992, 93, driving a lowrider, listening to some Cypress Hill. some funky Cypress Hill shit. I had that year too. I think had long hair. My cousin braided my hair. Michelle and her friend put color rubber bands in it, and so I had like little braids, colorful braids, and looked a little bit like reminiscent of crisscross. I was probably about the height of crisscross too. Little aren't they Georgia people or maybe the Carolinas? I know one of them died. Sad. But yeah, no man, what I get is struggle. You know, looking at Slim American thing and kind of looking at his, I guess his come up and the struggle within that, and man, I've been feeling the struggle the past couple days. I've not slept great, but I found out a couple days ago that one of the people I care for passed away. Um, Either somewhere around my birthday or right before. But I didn't find out till a couple days after my birthday. So yeah, sad moment of silence for him. But he's in a better place. He's no longer suffering, which I know he was. And I mean, that's just the feedback loop into myself. I've been so busy lately, I haven't been able to focus on my end of life dual assert and focused with myself, struggling, other things, um, shit, inflation, having to replace brakes, having to replace air conditioning, this, that, the other, working, needing the time to do all this other stuff, but having to physically, in time, be working, sometimes being out late. I had some good weeks Ubering, but some of that, to make the good money, it was, hey, there was an 11-day stretch where I worked 11 days straight, took off a day, and then worked 4 days. So, you know, like that. You want to make the money. It requires a lot. And then you're also trying to be dad, husband, everything else. Struggle. Yes. Very difficult. And yeah, fucking more than half your life is gone. You're 50. You're not where you thought you'd be. Um, the world is fucking bananas. Um, yeah, I was listening to Chris Williamson, the DJ Shipley interview, and that one too, the struggle. I got it. I understood. Like, there was a moment when I was watching this that I teared up earlier. And also, yeah, I cried a couple of times this week. There's just been some moments, that's the struggle. I know the struggle I have, the struggle I go through, so I can empathize with those who are suffering because I feel like I'm currently suffering sometimes. Always at the hands of myself. But as is the human condition, as is life, um, what makes me who I am, what gives me the ability to care the way I do. It's also a lot because I absorb a lot. I absorb a lot of energy. I, I take on a lot of feelings for others. I feel with them. I feel it for real. I know true suffering when I see it, when I hear it, um, and it touches me. I'm aging. Those around me are getting older. The people I care for are getting older. My family members who are still alive and present are older. Um, no matter how healthy you try to stay, it's like Father Time will always try to throw something in there to trip you up. And you truly understand health is wealth. So you take myself, you take those I care for, you take family members, throw it all in there. It's a lot. And in this world, in a world that's, I don't know, I would say partially, I would definitely say some people are self absorbed, but not necessarily so. Everybody's trying to make it. Hmm. Oh, couldn't sleep last night. I got home early, decided to stop early. There's a lot of cops out, full moon. I My last Uber drive was like really close to home, and I said, "We're just gonna go home. We're gonna chill, go to bed early." And I felt like I dozed off, and I woke up at like 1:30 a.m. Couldn't go back to sleep. So, what do you do at 1 in the morning when you can't sleep? You should read. Open a book. That's the best thing. Or, I guess if you were in Vegas, you could do Vegas because that's like 24 hours, Or from the comfort of your bed, your room, you just fucking go on TikTok. Holy moly. What on earth? And man, let me tell you, TikTok. Um, Reminiscent of Canton, Texas, first Mondays. Google that. Maybe a swap meet, the world's largest fucking flea market, a virtual flea market. That's kind of what it's like. Virtual flea market swap meet, especially if you go in the live. I was discussing this with my wife this morning. She doesn't go on live. I sometimes go live, so I will go on live or look at live creators. She'll usually stop if it's music or something. So, what she sees is a lot, or are a lot of posts. Creators doing posts. Similar if I would put out a clip. Um, and so you receive it different as a consumer. And going out as a creator, looking at the live, I'm like, man, wow, it's interesting. It's like, it's like a flea market with its own economy, kind of a thing, I guess you could say. Um, wow. So I mean, you have people, vendors, everybody who I could be here trying to sell you something. Correction fluid. Okay. I have the best correction fluid. They sponsor me. You can get 3 of them now. And there's a little thing on the screen taking you to the TikTok shop, telling you, yeah, that's what I want to get in your hands. Then you may have somebody who's got like looks like QVC or something, like they got lights set up and boxes set up and they're like giving you product specifications and taking you a tour of it. Maybe some dude was touring the drumsticks that you play in the air, you hit air and they make sound. And um I gotta cut out the filler words there, but keeping it real here. Let's see. I saw some dude who looked like he put the spirit of Halloween out of business. Hundreds of viewers just sitting in there looking at him, and you know, he looked ghoulish and freakish, kind of. Couple hundred views, and he was like, "I'm just taking advantage of the algorithm or something." There was, a lot of people got a shtick or some sort of thing they do. And then you have battles, which TikTok promotes, and you see like where I guess all these agencies come in and they promote people to battle. I guess if you're an influencer or a person of influence, you build a team, and that team then supports you in battles by gifts, which costs money. And I guess the creator keeps a portion, a fraction, like half the penny. Or if a rose is a penny, then half the penny goes to TikTok, half to the creator, maybe. And your team people in these battles, they're giving these coins and or roses that cost pennies. And some, I guess they have galaxies and special ones that are like pretty big deals. And these lives are recorded, and I guess you can clip that way. When somebody gifts you something, you can then be like, oh, post that as a clip. This person gifted it in a way of showing appreciation and thanks. And like one of the creators, I guess, had the top people in her team. Um, I don't know what they are. Their level of support, a 50 maybe is the highest level. And she had two, and that's like people who gift her the most, like in these battles, support her. Because she was talking to somebody else, I guess, who maybe he'd flown from somewhere. He was Lebanese or something, and gone out to TikTok headquarters, and they were talking like, did they feed you? Yada yada yada. Because I heard some say they didn't. Was it nice? This, that, the other. So you have agencies, battles, people with the influence, and I guess maybe these agencies focus on different things, whether some people do funny skits. Um, there's some dude I like, uh, what does he say? It's Colonel Isosceles or something, or there's some dude who's always talking names about, like construction blue collar shit. That's pretty funny, which I really dig. There's those kinds of creators, and I guess they go live sometimes. And yeah, I don't know how they're monetized. And then the battles, when you're doing the battling, joining the league, I'm guessing TikTok gift, they get half the penny. The agency, of course, I'm sure gets something. Um, so yeah, you got people selling stuff, you got people doing stuff, battling, um, psychic tarot card readings. Um, some people just hanging out. Mm. Ooh, yeah. I think I ended with somebody you could tell she's just kind of getting into, I guess, something else to do. Like she works late nights, gets off late, and I guess if you're with an agency, they probably have requirements like you need to do 30 minutes a day. And so, you want to get your 30 minutes in. And so while you're getting ready to go to bed, and she did her first battle, and somebody came in, like, from the Philippines. And yeah, interesting. Language barrier, first battle. It was fun to watch. But you can see what I enjoyed about them, where they were real. So there's a couple people where it's like kind of real talk. And then you got, of course, if there's a female, there's always going to be like people in the comments, making sexual innuendos or something. Never fails. And then if they don't have a moderator to block them or whatever, and then I guess there's a whole culture of, you know, people who do that just to fucking get a rise out of somebody. They get blocked. The moderators block them, kick them off. And their whole thing is just to make another spam account and go troll. Yeah, interesting. That's why it's hard to say, like, are people self absorbed or are people struggling and trying to make it? And some people are just like, oh, I guess, well, this is something to do. It was something I did. I don't rarely go on there. I'll only go on there now and look on these days. And if it's like an interview I had that I enjoyed, I'll repost that because I already made clips for it. Just kind of filter back, going back into the podcast because I'm not clipping lately. So, not clipping or posting um, a lot of podcast shit, you know, just posting here and there shit, highlights, like my 50th birthday in Hot Springs, which was fucking awesome. Highly recommend. Uh, we'll talk about that now. How about that? Little synchronicities here. It was decided to go with the VRBO. Enjoyed them much better than Airbnb. So I'll shout out that because last summer, if you go back and listen, we rented a beach house through Airbnb and it was the one price, and then they hit you up for fucking more fees. No. Um, this one was everything it said it was. And what was pretty cool was the couple who actually owned it came the next day as we were leaving, and they started cleaning. And because they'd also, that morning, there was a storm that came through. It was pretty nasty and blew limbs and debris everywhere. So they came and started like with the hot tub. Even though it was covered, there was kind of limbs and stuff because it is out in the sticks. But their son actually lives in the town where we live. But they don't even know where he works. He works for a car dealership. But they were a really nice couple, beautiful digs. And if I had $600,000, I would buy that property for both. It's worth it, 100%. So if you want to loan me 600K or know about this property, yeah, it was awesome. It was fun. It was beautiful view, um, hot tub. My wife and I getting to spend the evening in there, and just the weather was nice. Mosquitoes weren't bad. I mean, we spent our days doing so much that it was like we didn't even spend. I would just like more days so we could actually spend it there. I'm the actual only person who spent any time downstairs. It was a 2-story place and nobody. We stayed upstairs the whole time. Because the bedroom, the entrance, and the kitchen was on the second floor, and sit out on the front porch, which is on the second floor. The deck is over the hot tub, both overlooking the lake. I think I was the only one who walked down to the lake too. And so Um, too short. More days. Because, I mean, hot springs is just, we didn't even get like, we went to Lake Washita. It was pretty. Drove around up there. But I would have liked to have gone in the lake, maybe spend a day hiking, like in the national park there. We didn't even go to the tower, but went to the downtown area, the shops, some of the bathhouses, museums, did the duck tour, DeLuca's Pizza, and I do not know our waiter's name, but thank you. I told you I had a podcast. You made my day very special. My birthday was the next day, but it was Father's Day, and I'm a cannoli fan, and they have a cannoli sparkler special thing, and I had no idea. And he was gonna bring. I had a cannoli, and then he was. He's like, "Oh, I got one more thing for you." And he brought out the sparkler, and they put on the "Hey Shorty, it's your birthday" song, and man, it was just cool. And it was cool because he was so thoughtful, and he was so nice and generous, and telling us about everywhere we got to visit, and just polite, and I mean, just a good human being. At least in, as a waiter. That was the only interaction he could be a total shithead outside of work. For all I know, I don't know. Um, yeah, that's me making assumptions. But I would hope that you hear the same person through and through. Um, I try to be. If anything, I think I'm probably more reserved here than I'm in person. If you were to meet me live at a show, um, the internet doesn't do me justice. I'm much more an in person kind of, yeah. Especially if I like you. Probably also depends on what environment we're on, what's going on. If I'm in serious thought mode or, whimsical joking mode, or just kind of depends. There's a lot of times I'm in protection mode. Anytime I'm out with my family, there's a baseline level of that. So I don't know if it's rude or standoffishness, you could call it, but it's kind of a baseline level of, like, if you mess with my family, I'm just gonna have to be mean. You're gonna have to see the person you don't want to see, and I'm gonna have to be the person I don't want to be. So let's please don't. Mm, If you're watching, you can probably even hear it in my voice. Yeah, there's a baseline level of that when I roll around in public with my family, because we live in a fucking crazy place, and have to protect them. Mm, yeah, because it's like, I guess if you were to turn on the news, it's like the world's burning down around you. If you look at that, it's like, are we in World War III or what? All the political riffraff every day, inflation, gas prices up and down. Groceries are still a fuckload. Man, I hit Sprouts a couple times, and 2 bags, $75. 3 bags, 110 when I'm shopping for others. Um, man. Mauricio. I would mm, delivered to a guy. I wish I had texted him. He didn't put substitutions for the raspberry, but uh, I understood when he said he was caring for his father. Like medically, he needed the pectin with the fruit as a thickener. And if I didn't have that other bag, I would have just went right back and got it on my dime. They just only had one strawberry, and I should have texted him. I feel bad. See that's what brings me back. I feel that like I could feel that in my whole body, in my toes, right there, back down to earth. That's what I care about. I could have done better at my job for the guy who's here caring for his father. I wish I'd done better. I wish I had more time. But I can offer an apology here. I can offer my accountability of I want to be better. He asked for three, they only had one. I should have said, hey, do you want raspberry? Normally they would say, normally the app prompts you when it's out of something. Are you sure? Like, yes. And if there's an approved substitution, they'll say, go ahead and get this. And he didn't put one, but I should have texted him. You know, I'm the one that gets to feel bad about it. Oh, see, that's what's important. I got people around me, family members who are, aging. Different things happen, come down with different things. Hmm. Me turning 50. Yeah. One of your people that you've cared for when there was no one else. I said yes, and they pass away. That's what's important. Hmm. And everybody's out there just trying to make it. And so it's kind of like, yeah, people jockeying for position, pushing their narratives the right and left. Everybody's just trying to survive and hold on. And some people are like, hey, as part of that, either you're going to be in the corporate machine or you're going to have some of your own freedom. And, I guess like the TikTok creators, even if they're with an agency and stuff, I mean, hey, if you can sit and earn some coin doing that, hell yeah. And you don't have to, it's just facts that AI is going to take some entry level jobs. So a lot of things are going to be gone. So, there is this kind of more entrepreneurial spirit in a way, like after COVID and the mask came off, and I was like, oh, you guys don't have our best interest. And you've been lying to us for years. So it kind of turns into the Wild West a little bit. And now it's like nobody fucking believes anything, especially we look at 2026. It's like anything that was said, anything that was done, all the actions don't match the words. And so people are just kind of getting in where they can. I'm no different. Like I Uber, I do what I can, but I'm not in the system. I don't have to clock in 9 to 5 every day. And so I respect these people in this flea market going in, setting up their little station in this bazaar. And that's like the BAZAAR kind. Um, Man, it's full on what I imagine Pakistan or something to be like, or Mumbai, Bollywood. I think I got a taste of that last night. There was like oh man, I forget. She put her ethnicity in. Good English, very pretty. Um, but she was like, kind of because her ethnicity is like, don't be weird, let's talk. And I can appreciate that too. Because, yeah, you got people who are still behind the narratives, and then a lot of people who don't join in on the narratives, and they're out there hustling, doing their thing. And it kind of, the Yellow Wolf documentary, like hustling, doing his thing, struggling. I get it. I understand it. Man, that dash in between those dates on the tombstone, that's the struggle. That's what it is. They do all this shit for you to come into the world, boy. It's like you're having a baby, let's have a fucking baby shower, all that. When you go out, it's fucking brutal. But people are making it more of a celebration now, and I like that. People are preparing more for it. And that was the intention of the doula, which I have to circle back around and get to. Um, yeah, it's one of the most important dates, and never know when it's gonna come. And like my man, when he was before he was nonverbal, if he could have made different choices, the end might have been different. Might not have had to suffer so much, which is why I to kick myself in the ass and go, get your shit done, boy. Go do what you need to do. But it's hard, man. It's summertime. Get a kid out of school. I still have to, I took her and her friend, had her for a couple of days, and her friend like transferred to a different school and took them to the mall. And, it was just fun. They're independent, and our mall's not huge, so I can let them kind of be and, you know, say, hey, I'm here, or come here when you're done. But yeah, it feels like there's just so much. I feel like not enough time for all the stuff that needs to be done in a way. And then after finding out, the news that I found out about my gentleman, of course, it was that. And then we had to take our dog in for it's just the nasal shot, nasal nose spray shot, kennel cough stuff. But just hearing all the dogs in there, she was like wigging out a little bit. And I think the last time we'd been in there was when we had to put our other dog, Peanut, to sleep. And his birthday's around the 4th of July. And that's next weekend. And so, man, it was a lot. I got to feel it all. Yeah, I mean, I was listening to a podcast, walking around the park, and just started crying. It was like I couldn't help it. That dash, that suffering. But that's why the opposite is so needed. Like if you're listening, this connection that we have to one another, even if it's only through the years, that's important. This is the life. Where am I most alive? Like at a concert with like my best friend Andrew and Alex, meeting him and other people I've met and the strangers I've yet to meet. That energy. Or when I'm with my wife, like at a comedy show, or we get to go out and it's just us, um, or just me and my daughter. You know, that's where I feel the most alive. That's where life is. And then also on the other end, when I'm caring for somebody, when I'm visiting people in the hospital, when I bring that empathy, I feel very alive then too. And then I hit some, points in between when I Uber and get to talk to somebody, meet somebody new, and meet somebody cool, or, give somebody a ride who needs it, or you feel like you actually did something of service. I mean, that's pretty cool. And connectivity was on TikTok last night, man. There's these two guys from Brazil, and this guy had dreadlocks, and man, is like Rasta Dub. Man, I think that was his handle. I followed him. This whole time I thought, oh shit, I wasn't recording. um, but it said punk, that they like punk and ska. And I said, hey, I interviewed Scart from the Supervillains, and they were like, boom. And then they threw on the Supervillains. And then we were just talking to him, and I sent him the links, and then started talking to him like about filibuster, and it was just like, oh yeah. And when you hear them, and they're sitting there speaking Portuguese, but singing the song, the English song, speaking English to me somewhat broken. Um, but yeah, you know, there was a connection there. The music brought us together. The vibe. Thanks, Scart. Which I gotta tell him. Shout out to him. Let him know that that's just. I mean, it's fucking cool. And he was talking about he had tickets to the Warped Tour in Austin, and his visa got denied. He couldn't fly or something, and so he was bummed about that. But that's that. You know, two dudes somewhere. Just like I think about when me and Andrew were probably that age, getting tuned up, turning up, drinking a little, whatever, listening to music. Because in some places, you know, that's not America. If you're listening, or if you're American and you haven't been to third world countries, they don't have a lot. They're not going out to dinner on a Saturday night. It's not Vegas. They're not out playing slots. They're not out at clubs dancing until 2 in the morning everywhere. Some places they're just being, just existing. Or doing what two young people would do, I guess, if there was nothing else to do. Sit in, drink, listen to good music. There are those people. Hell, there's people on TikTok. That's all they do is DJ all day. People tune into them. I would maybe do that. Not really. I would have to get up, and I need human interaction and contact. Kind of a requirement for me. Because we do have a connection problem, a loneliness problem, right? And so it was good to actually, what I did enjoy about hopping in that TikTok bazaar market was maybe the two or three people that were real, didn't have a shtick, were just being themselves. It's like, is anybody themselves anymore, or is everybody just playing, pretending to be something they're not? Because they want to be seen a certain way, or because they want, I don't know, their identity to be, I don't know. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. That's all you need to be. Let's make sure I covered everything here on my list. Yes, lots of emotions this week. DJ Shipley interview, Yellow Wolf. Mm-hmm. Let's see, the Brazil boys. Oh, yeah. Don't want to give that away. Hmm. Yeah, covered it all. Made a list. Checking it twice. Men of the house is going to find out if you've been naughty or nice. So, I'm off to treat myself to a massage. Croissant. Yeah. I didn't sleep well. Had a lot of emotions. Been carrying a lot for others and a lot for myself. I'm going to let my masseuse push that negative energy out. I'm going to grab a pizza because there's this one that looks tasty, a muffalata pizza. Mm-hmm. It comes in the personal size. My wife doesn't like olives, so take my opportunity to yum yum that up. Then I might head by Sprouts and grab some lemon gelato bombs for me and my mom, since my wife's still out of town. My mom's favorite thing is lemon, so it's lemon season, and the gelato bombs are the bomb. I like the pistachio ones, but the lemon ones are new. They look good. Hopefully they've restocked them because I only saw like one box yesterday. Um, Shout out to the cashiers if you see me today. It's actually all the restaurants I go to. Sometimes I'm there for me, not for the customer, which is rare. But today has been for me, and today has been for you guys. Hence, you get an episode, get a connection, get to find out what's happening, get to remember what's important. You get a chance to think about, hey, you're going to set up your own little station in this flea market and hustle. You're going to get behind one of the narratives. What's important? Love and connectivity. We're all trying to make it. Music, podcasts, books. These are ways we can connect with each other. They bring thoughts, concepts, love together. Just like the supervillains, right? Shit's on the airwaves. Go check it out. Anyone can listen. Thank you. I'm grateful for free speech. Absolutely. So, and thank all of you for sharing your time with me. And if you enjoyed this, or if you've enjoyed any of the interviews I've had in the past, please like, subscribe, share, send it to someone else who you think is like minded. Because we need to get more of this out there. I mean, hey, we all get the beginning, we all get to struggle in the dash, we all get the ending. So, Why not get together, be kind, help each other out, make it easier for one another, show up for one another instead of fighting with one another, right? All right, time to go get my massage. So, till next time, remember, go out and be the person that you want to meet.